All right, so now that we have the bottom one in, we're going to install the top. Also, you're going to pull these out. These are the rubber bumpers that you're going to want to install on both the top and the bottom. You're going to have 2 per one, so you're going to take out 2 more of the long screws. I always install the rubber bumpers last because sometimes these bumpers, if you install them before, they'll actually hit the hinge and it'll stop it from coming out, because see how that sticks out farther? So what I do is I'll just stick it on the corner up here where I want to install it so it doesn't hit that hinge. Put it on. It has a little lip on it right here, if you can see that it just clamps right on. So just hold it perfectly to the lip, and then there you go, just put your screw on. Then you have your rubber bumper on each end. The reason why we have the rubber bumpers is if you're opening the door and the door is closed like this, it bounces off the rubber bumper and doesn't scratch up the inside of your cabinet on the actual railing itself. So you're gonna do that again for the other side. I just stick it on the top because that's where my railing is not hitting the hinges. All right, the next thing what you're gonna do is in your cabinet, you're gonna have that baby half shelf in there. Mine is already installed. Yours is usually just put on there with 2 little plastic clips. See that little metal L bracket that's in the back of the cabinet? So usually you can put 2 in per one, which I would just put 1 on the left side and 1 on the right side. It's very self-explanatory. It's a little metal L bracket. You put a screw in to attach it to the wall, then also to the top shelf. That just makes it so that it doesn't move, because when you have those plastic clips on there, you're gonna leave the plastic clips on. Just add those extra metal brackets. So you're gonna take your tape measure. This is something you're gonna have to do. You're gonna measure, which is, I don't know if you can see around me, but you're gonna measure the full inside of the inside of your cabinet. So from left to right, from here to here, that's gonna be the width. And then most of your half shelves that you have there are, I would say, 3/4 or 0.75 in height. So when you're measuring for your 2 side plates, you're gonna just touch the ground and measure it to the very bottom. So mine is 12.5. So I would cut mine at 12.75. That's 1/4 of an inch. The reason why I'm giving it that extra 1/4 of an inch instead of cutting at 12.5 is because the wood that we send you is going to be 60 inches in length. So that's a 60-inch one, and it's only a 1/2 inch wide. So when you have your half shelf like this, if that one's 3/4 and this one is a 1/2, it's going to be slanted down. So you need to add that 1/4 of an inch. So from the bottom, from the ground to the bottom is 12.5. Just cut the side plates at 12.75. So this is a side plate. It's already cut. I cut them myself. You're going to have to use your tape measure. You're going to have to use a saw, and then you're going to have to use a level so you can cut these. So you're going to have 1 piece per side. It just sits in just like that. That's the height. That's going to be the height of your back cabinet. You're going to, again, with the rubber bumpers in it, you're going to take 8 screws out. So you have your 8 screws, you can put them in here, and you're going to put 2 screws per side. Boom, there's 1. There's 2, and it holds it onto the cabinet. You're going to do the same thing for this side. 1, 2. I already made pre-drilled little holes. You don't have to. You can just hold it and screw it in. I like to pre-drill the little holes because it's easier to put your screw in. Now this is going to be the top shelf. And you just set it right on top of the 2 pieces of wood that you cut. So now this piece of wood is the height of your back half shelf that's already in your cabinet. So you cut these at 12.75. This is a 1/2 inch, which equals the height of that very top of that cabinet. What you're gonna do is 2 more screws per side. Very easy. You're gonna attach it. The reason why I take the upper drawer out is for this reason. Because I stick my arm through the hole, I hold this flush with the front, and I screw it in. And it's just 2 screws, as you can see. 2 on that side. And you're gonna come over here. You're gonna stick your screwdriver in. I have my pre-drilled little holes. Screw it in. And then 1 more. Screw it in. Now the shelf is completely attached. Now you have 2 shelves that are the same height. Very simple to do. It's just the cutting it that you have to go outside and cut it, bring it back in. Then what we're gonna do, take our second drawer. Sorry. Sometimes you have to extend these to get it in there. And then you just slide it in. You pull them completely forward. Make sure when you're screwing it in, see these? It has to be pulled all the way forward. Then you just line it up with that drawer, that shelf that you just put in. So the shelf is perfectly aligned with that. It's perfectly pulled forward. You make sure it's flat. And then you're gonna do the same thing as you did down below. You're gonna reach your hands through the top. You're gonna push down with your fingers and use your thumbs and slide it out. And then as you can see back in there, you can see the 2 mounting plates. You're sitting on that half shelf, the half shelf that came with your cabinet. So remember, you're never taking that out, you're leaving it in. You're gonna put your screw on, you're gonna reach through this top hole, and you can see it. And you're gonna screw it into the middle, just like we did the lower one. So you can do it with one hand. Just reach it in and screw it in. Then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna pull it out till it stops perfectly. It's not bouncing. You can see the front mounting brackets. You're gonna stick your arm in and then put it in the front too, like we did the bottom one. 1. And then I always switch sides just so both sides are mounted. And I can push it in, see if it looks good. The doors close all the way, perfectly flush. Move it back out. Now I'm gonna put 2 more. 1 on this side. And 1 on the other side. So you have 4 in the front, and I just get down a little bit. And then I do the tic-tac-toe effect in the back. Like I said, you can stick the other 2 anywhere you want. But 10 screws, make sure this thing never comes out. If you put 4, then that's only 4 little screws holding this in when you put all your weight. Like we said, these can hold up to 100 pounds fully extended outside your cabinet. So just help your counter out, help your drawer out, help yourself out. You don't want to have to go back in to put those extra screws in because you didn't want to in the first place. Just go ahead and put them in. You got all 10 of them in there. It looks good. Then you're gonna go ahead and move it out. You're gonna grab your 2 remaining bumpers. gonna go ahead and put it on the top. Remember, it has that little edge. Just line it up. Screw that baby on. We're gonna do it for this side. Line it up. Screw it on, and then you're done.